guys, it's Sam, and I'm here to talk about the series I probably won't be finishing. So I say probably because there's a chance maybe if I hear really good things about like later books in the series on some of these, not all of them, that I might pick them up, or I might like rekindle my interest in reading them. For the most part, these are series that I've lost interest in, or I actively hate, or I've given up on. You know, a lot of these books, even some of them I've read recently and I was interested in continuing the series, and I'm just like, you know what, nah. There are too many books to be read, and too many books I'm excited about that I'm not going to pick up a series just because I started it. Like, I'm just better off marathoning series in general, but a lot of these are currently ongoing, and I just don't care anymore. Get this out of the way right now. You guys are all civilized human beings. You know deep in your heart that if I don't like your favorite series, it doesn't mean I don't like you. I'm not saying anything about you or anyone that chooses to like them. I don't like them. Me, the person whose channel you're watching. I don't like them. So I don't want to mess in the comments about like really being upset. Don't be upset. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the series I don't like. It's not about the author in most cases. In some cases it might be, but like it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's just series that I don't plan on continuing, and let's all admit that you guys love these negative videos, okay? Negative videos. These videos where people talk about things they don't like. You love them. I see those view counts. You guys love that shit. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's start out with the bang, shall we? Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I've only read the first book, and I believe I got rid of it because I'm not seeing it on my shelves. So I am not a fan of this series, really. Like, I was okay with the first book. A lot of these series I'm talking about are like 3-star books, and so I just didn't feel like continuing on the series, especially if I had to wait for later books in the series. Like, I was kind of disappointed by Red Queen when it came out. I had like huge hype, and it's still a very popular series. I see why people like it. It just wasn't for me. I feel like it was so like a bunch of other series. I feel like it was just kind of disjointed, and it didn't really know what it was doing, and there was just a lot of things combined to make one thing, and it felt a lot like the Hunger Games, and it felt a lot like there were some like Shadow and Bone elements mixed in there, and it was just kind of everything in one, and I just lost interest. By the time the second book came out, I was just like, you know, I don't really care. And the third book's coming out, and I'm like, I don't really care. Let's continue going with these controversial ones, shall we? The next one is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. If you guys follow me on Tumblr, you're not surprised about this. I've been very vocal about how I really don't plan on finishing this series. It's another series that I genuinely just lost interest in, and then I started hearing like bad things about the later books in the series, and then the fans of the series started coming after me because I don't want to read it or I don't like a certain thing about it. I'm just like, y'all are messy, and I don't want to deal with that at all. I don't want to be attacked by people because I don't like a certain series that you like. Like, the fandoms of certain book series or TV shows or movies or whatever make things unenjoyable. And I just don't want to deal with it. People have messaged me about different things that have happened over the past couple of books, and I'm like, you know what? I am not interested. And not even about a ship thing. Like, I don't really care about that. Like, that's not what I read books for. Just about, like, general plot things. And I'm like, you know, I'm really not into that. And it's sad, because if you watch my reviews for this series, I was looking forward to things that could possibly happen, and I was actually really excited about, like, the potential of the series, and now I'm just like, that potential was squandered. If I read that series, it would be for Manon. And that's it. I could not care less about Selena fucking Sardathian, Aelin Galanthus. Bleh. I don't care. I don't care about her. I've never cared about her. I've never read that series for her. So, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. The next series I'm not continuing is the Eon series by Alison Goodman. It's a duology. The second book is Iona. I hated Eon, though. I've done a review on it. I've talked about it recently. I just hated it. So much about the writing I hated, so much about how things were handled I hated. The only thing I liked about it was some of the gender stuff it brought up. Other than that, I just didn't like it. I just think it was really mediocre and weak. And a lot of people have said that the second book gets better, but I don't even want to risk it, you know? Like, because a lot of people still liked the first book. Like, I hated this first book. It was not a fun reading experience. It took me almost a month to read this book. No, I don't plan on continuing that one at all. Maybe if like an audiobook popped up or something. No, I'm not going to spend time. I'm not reading this one. This is one for sure I'm not going to pick up. The next one is The Mirror Empire by Cameron Hurley. I think it's the Worldbreaker saga. I think this is a trilogy. I struggled with this first book, and I felt like I don't know anything about the story. I don't care about the characters. I don't know anything about the characters. This book keeps you at arm's length completely and doesn't let you in at all, and I don't care. And I want to care, because I actually think that I am going to like other Cameron Hurley books. This book and this series is just not, I don't feel it, you know? I'm not into it. I have no desire to pick it up. Like, I had a really miserable time reading it. The only reason that I really continued reading this book was because Adriana from Perpetual Pages and I were buddy reading it. But otherwise, I might have DNF'd it, and I never DNF books. But I might have. You guys may be surprised about this, but you probably shouldn't be, because I've been pretty vocal about that, and that's the Avastat trilogy by Morgan Rhodes. This is the spin-off trilogy from Fallen Kingdoms. This is a waste of a series, man. I am not into this series. This first book, I think I gave 3 stars. I was kind of like, meh. Maybe I even gave it 4 stars when I first read it. I don't remember. But as time went on, I really didn't care about the second book, and then I read the second book, and I hated the second book. I don't even remember stuff about the second book, and I didn't even read it that long ago. Maybe 6 months ago. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't impact Fallen Kingdoms, really. It's just kind of like backstory from, like, the past of Fallen Kingdoms, but the current of our world. It's just kind of a mess, and I feel like it's... I don't like there being, like, 2 series within this, like, world. It's just... I don't care about these characters at all. At all. And it's Fallen Kingdoms, and I should love it. I don't. I think it's sloppy, and I don't plan on continuing. And there's only 1 book left, and I could probably read it really quickly, because I read these books quickly anyway. But I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. Why would I do that to myself? I don't hate myself. And we have The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. This book is just really, really mediocre. The series is just really mediocre. There's a lot of issues with it too, and it's just each book in the series is like it's from a different character's perspective, but they're all taking place at the same time. So this first book isn't even a complete book. You don't get the complete story. You're left purposefully in the dark so that the later books in this series can fill you in. And it's just like, no, why? No, that's lazy and messy and sloppy, and I don't like it. So basically, you have to read the whole trilogy to get the complete story. Like, each book is not a complete story. It seems incredibly gimmicky, and they're not even that interesting of characters for me to really care. I've just lost interest. I was maybe gonna possibly, if I would have had them all in front of me, I might have marathon read them and gotten the full story, but no. There's better books out there. You knew it was coming. It's the Bronze Horseman series by Paulina Simons. This is a dumpster fire of a book and a dumpster fire of a series, because I read synopsises for the next 2 books, like read like in-depth, detailed kind of summaries for them, and they're trash. Oh, they're trash, and they're so long, and like, oh my god, I read this one. You guys know I've talked about it. I'll link my review of it. It's awful. It's so bad, and like, it's just, oh no, I would never. And I've read what the second and third ones are about, and I'm just like, how is this a huge series? Like, what? Oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad. If you guys don't plan on reading this series at all, like you've heard me talk about it, you don't plan on reading it, I encourage you to read summaries of the books so you see what I'm talking about, because it's just awful. How is this a romantic couple? It shouldn't be. They're awful. They're both awful. Their relationship is awful. It's awful. Next one is the School of Good and Evil series by Suman Chainani. I have no interest. I've lost interest. I don't care really to read this, and it's a shame because I kind of liked it when I first read it. A bunch of us buddy read it, and this is a series that I might continue. I've just really lost interest in it, and the first book was really hard to get through. It like took all of us who were all booktubers like a ton of time to get through it. We were all talking about it actively, and it just we all felt like we were reading it each day like a lot, and then we wouldn't get through that much of it. It's just like, what? So this is like a cute series, but I don't know. I just feel like there's other things I'd rather pick up, and I'm not super intrigued by it. If we all did a buddy read for like the next 2 books, I might read it, or I might do like a audiobook or something. Like, I'm not deeply opposed to it. I don't think it's badly written or anything. I just have lost interest in it. Ugh, the Black Heart series by Nicole Casterman. I don't know if this is a series or a duology, but I talked about this a little bit in my couples video, talking about couples, but this is supposed to be a Blackbeard retelling. And it's not. It's a, like, historical romance, and it's supposed to be like an origin story for Blackbeard, and like the Blackbeard character's in it, but he's not doing anything remotely Blackbeard related. You don't even really feel like he's turning into a Blackbeard character. It's just him making moon eyes at the love interest, and then making moon eyes at each other, and in a historical setting. And there's no pirate stuff. They're not on the 7 seas. He's not doing anything morally gray or anything like that, and then it's very much marketed as just dark and piratey, and it's not. And even the second book in the series, I think it's called like Black Souls or something. No, it's not gonna be anything like that. It's gonna be a little love story, and you guys are a little love. And I don't know. That's fine if that's how it's marketed, but it's marketed as all like dark and piratey and fun, and it's not. It was so boring. So I don't plan on reading the rest of the series. I know this is gonna hurt some of you, but the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness, I did not like this first book. It was a struggle to get through. I feel like I could just have this as a self-contained thing. I don't really care about the characters. I heard that it's a really great series. I've read other stuff with Patrick Ness now, and I like him as an author. I'm going to read his other stuff. But this series, I'm just not interested in. It's like a survival dystopian story, little more survival than dystopian, I'd say, in this first book, but obviously a little more dystopian later on. And I'm just not in the mood for that genre, you know? Like, we live in a dystopian society, you know? Like, I feel like some of the things that happen in this could happen. So I'm really not interested in reading it at all, because I don't need that kind of trauma in my life. I don't really care to do this, and I don't really care for the characters that much. They really were kind of annoying, and I just didn't really get attached to them. So I will read more Patrick Ness, other things he puts out, but not this. Then we have the A Thousand Pieces of You trilogy. I think it's called the Firebird trilogy by Claudia Gray. I loved this first book, but then by the time the second book rolled around, I just was like, don't really care. I have it on my shelf. It's one that I might continue with, but I have no interest right now. Like, I look at it and I'm just like, no. Like, it's a parallel universe story, like jumping between parallel universes, and that's really cool, but I've just lost interest in it. Like, the first book was still good, but it wasn't as good as I was expecting it to be, so it was a little bit of a disappointment, and then by the time the next book got around, I was just like, no. And we have the Dustland series by Moira Young. I love this first book. I love Blood Red Road. It's one of my most underrated reads. I should have put this on my underrated reads that I think I just did for Top 5 Wednesday recently. But I love this book. It's so good. It's like a Western survival post-apocalyptic, not really dystopian, more like post-apocalyptic Mad Max type thing. It's so good. And I adored it, but it really can be like a self-contained story, and I've heard the last two books in the series just completely destroy the characters, feel like a completely different story, and a lot of people really hate it. So I don't know if I'm going to read it. I kind of want to just to see. Maybe I'll like it, but I probably wouldn't, and it'd ruin this for me. So I have the second book in the series. This might be another like one of those audiobook things, but I don't think I'm going to ruin this for me because this was so good. This was so good. And I don't think the rest of the series is going to be that good. This is a current one. It's the Passenger duology by Alexander Bracken. I don't really get on with Alexander Bracken stuff. I liked this when it first came out. It was a 4-star read for me, I think, but I felt it was kind of insta-lovey, and I just, as the year went on, I was like, I really don't care. It took me a while to read. I find Alexander Bracken stuff just like takes me a really long time, which I'll talk about another series of hers in a second, actually. But I just really lost interest. And it's cool because it's like a time-traveling story with pirates, but they're not really pirates. He's kind of a privateer, so it's not quite pirates, but I wanted to like it more than I did, and I just really lost interest over time. And there's plenty of time travel stories to choose from right now, so I don't feel like I need to read this, you know? And for graphic novel series, we have Rat Queens, which pains me, it pains me, but I'm just gonna read this volume because I think the next volume is when the stuff kind of goes down. So if you guys don't know, one of the people that was part of the creative team of this ended up being a giant asshole. I think his name is Rock Upchurch. I will leave an article or something down below. I don't want to get anything wrong as far as situation and explain it wrongly, so I will leave the thing down below because it's been a while since I've decided I'm not going to read this. But it's really discouraging because this series is super good, and it's really good for like people who are fans of RPGs and stuff, and like D&D. And I love these characters, but I can't continue with it and support that person. So we'll see what happens with this. If they decide to kick him off again and get rid of him, then I might give it a chance again, but I don't know. Then we have the Snow Like Ashes series by Sarah Rosh. I really liked this first book. It was like a 4-star, and then I read the second book, and it really had a second book slump thing happening, and now I just really don't care to finish it. Like, I'm not really motivated to pick it up. The last book is out, and I just don't care. And it's one that I might, again, read on like audiobook or something, but when I look at my shelves, I do not gravitate towards this series at all. I don't even own the last book, but it's a series that I'm just like, I don't wonder about what happens. I don't care about the characters that much. I don't feel like the story took it as far as it could have, and didn't do as much creative stuff as I was hoping it would. So I just find that I just don't care. And it's only one book left, but I don't care. Then we have the Shades of Milk and Honey series by Mary Robinette Kowal. I think it's actually called The Glamorist Histories, and this is a fantasy of manners, and it's an adult series, and it feels like Jane Austen with fantasy stuff in it. Like, it's with magic and stuff, so that's really cool. I like this first book. It felt exactly like Pride and Prejudice with magic, which was really great, like the relationship and everything. I've tried starting the second book a couple of times, and I just can't get into it. These, like, fantasy and manners tend to be kind of, like, slower, and it's just hard to get into them again. And I'm not super motivated to pick them up. I have the next 2 books in the series. I think it's actually a 5-book series or a 4-book series. I have the next 2. And I might, if I get back in that kind of, like, Regency period mood ever. But at this moment, I'm just kind of okay with leaving it as this. Here's another one that you guys are gonna be like, "Wah!" But I don't care. I don't care. It's the Percy Jackson series. And I have tried to read it, and if I own physical copies, I might. It's a series that I might check out from the library sometime, but I hate the audiobooks. And I was planning on just reading them an audiobook, and then I could get to the Heroes of Olympus series, and the audiobook narrator is terrible. He's so bad. And I actually ended up finishing the last book, not on audio, I just went into a bookstore to finish it because I just couldn't stand the narrator. And I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's hard, and I know a lot of people really love it, but it's because of nostalgia, really. Like, you had to start reading it when you were a little bit younger, I think, from what I've heard from a lot of people. I know a lot of people started when they were older and they love it, but, like, it's just, a lot of it's nostalgia for you guys. I'm sorry. A lot of it is. Like, it's okay, okay? But I might pick it up if I can get physical copies and stuff, because I really want to read the Heroes of Olympus, and I really want to read the later books in his other series and stuff, which I know you can pick up those other ones and not read the first ones. But I feel like you get more out of them when you read the other ones first, and you get these little snippets and these little, like, Easter eggs and stuff. So I don't know, but I'm not super motivated to pick these up. I did not have a good time with the first book in the Percy Jackson series. So I don't know. I'm not super motivated. And I know a lot of you are going to be, like, screaming, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to read your favorite childhood series. It's fine. Then we have To All the Boys Loved Before by Jenny Han. I read this first book, kind of up in the air about it. Like, it irritated me in a lot of ways. It's a YA contemporary, and I just wasn't super attached to it, but I had the second book in the series, and it was supposed to be a duology. And I was going to read the second book, and I still might read the second book, but I don't think I'll read the last book, because it's not supposed to be a trilogy. Stop lengthening these series. Like, you don't need to. And with a contemporary, going back and forth as a trilogy, it's like, will they, won't they, will they, won't they? Because it's a love story. That's what these contemporary novels are about, is about if they're going to get together. And being like, back and forth, back and forth. It's like, stop. Stop. So I cannot with that. Like, that's too much drama for me. So I don't think I'll finish the series. I might read the second book. I already own it. Contemporary is easy to get through for me, but I can't support this back and forth. A contemporary trilogy, please. Another one you knew would be on here is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. I am not going to read this burning trash pit at all. I'm not even going to go into it because I have no desire to read this. If anything I said about the Bronze Horseman series, I feel similarly about this. No, I would never do that to myself. I skim read the last half of this book. This book is garbage. No. Then we have The Darkest Minds by Alexander Bracken. I just didn't really care about this book. I read the first one. It took me a long time to get through. It's, again, like dystopian, post-apocalyptic. I think it's just past my time for that. I'm just done with dystopian, you know? Like, I was never really a big fan of dystopian when it first, like, came on the scene. I liked it enough, and I never was super, super drawn to it. And then when it got oversaturated, like, I was just done. So, I struggle with her writing. Like, I like her as a person. I think she's wonderful. But I struggle with her writing. I find it, like, incredibly dense for what it is. And just takes me a long time to get through it. Not even because it's, like, hard to read. It just, something about it slows me down. It's like walking through, like, really thick mud or something. I just can't get into it. Then we have Serafina by Rachel Hartman. This is a duology. It's about a girl who's, I think she's a dragon or she's half dragon or something like that. This is dragons that can kind of shapeshift into people. And this is an incredibly dense book as well. This one I struggled to get through. I really like a lot of the themes it explores, and it's very pretty, but I just really didn't get attached to the characters. I found a lot of them incredibly cold, which is fine, but all of them are cold. So I really struggled to get through this. I can see myself potentially doing audiobook on this one as well, because I did like the relationship that was forming with her. It was kind of like a will they, won't they, drawn to each other type thing going on. But I don't even know what really happened in the first one. It was kind of this like weird murder mystery court intrigue thing, and I feel like I'd have to read the first one again to really get everything out of the second book, and I don't really want to do that. So then we have the Zodiac series by Ramina Russell. This is the second book in the series because Zodiac is somewhere in here, but it's a young adult sci-fi, and I read the first book and didn't really enjoy it. There was a lot of insta-love, and there was a lot of the character basically being like a special snowflake. This could be really cool. It's kind of like powers based on the Zodiac and like planet systems based on the Zodiac and stuff like that, so it's a cool concept, but I think it tried to do too much and then didn't show you a lot of it. Like, there's all this like really complex world building, but it's not super tied into the story. So I have the second book, and I've had it for over a year, and I have no desire to pick it up. None. I don't even remember all the characters' names. I don't know what they're doing. I just know that the, you know, main character can just do everything. And it's one of those characters that just magically can just do everything. And it's like, that's lame and boring. No thank you. Then we have Secret by Lindsay Smith. This is one that is a duology, and this is also one that I wouldn't be opposed to like reading an audiobook. I have a lot of these out here, which is why it's a probably list. But I just lost interest in this series. I think I gave this one 3 stars, possibly, and I don't remember a lot about it. It's like a historical fantasy, so it takes place in the Soviet Union and with like Russian spies and stuff, and they're all mind readers, and they have like, you know, psychic abilities. So it's a really cool concept. I enjoyed it, but it's just like after I read it and I was waiting for the next book to come out, I just lost interest completely in it. Then we have a recent one, and that's Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I liked this book, and I read it, like I said, fairly recently. I think I gave it 4 stars, but as time has gone on, I've been like, it might be more of a 3-star book. And then, again, as time goes on, I'm like, I don't really think I'm going to pick up the rest of the books in the series. Like, I don't really care. Like, I just, there's other books that I want to read. I don't think once the next book comes out I'm going to care at all. Maybe we'll see if like hype starts building up for it, or people start reviewing it and say like it's amazing and stuff. Like I have some friends that like this first book and will probably read the second book, so I'll kind of see what they think. But right now I'm like, I'm not even looking forward to this release really. Like I don't care. Maybe I'll read a synopsis and it'll be like fine. But there's an unnecessary love triangle in here, and it's a little disjointed at places. I liked the ending, but like now that I think about it, overall as a book, it was probably like a 3-star. So I'm probably going to lose interest in this. Like, I'm already losing interest. By the time this comes out in, I think, the fall, probably, it's going to be gone. I'm not going to care. Then we have the Fairyland series by Catherine M. Valente. I know a ton of people love this series, but I struggle with Catherine Valente's writing. I'm probably going to try to read other books by her, but I just struggle with things that she's written, and I just don't get super attached to her characters, and I feel like they are just pieces on a set that I'm not allowed to touch or get close to, and I like being more in tune with my characters. Even if they're unlikable, I like feeling for them. I just feel very detached from her books. So I don't really plan on finishing this series. I'm not a big fan of middle grade anyway, so I'm not super motivated as it is. Then we have the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver. I read this first book on audiobook, and I don't care to read the rest of them. I read this one when I first started my YouTube channel, and it was fine. I liked the narrator. She was really good at the audiobook, so again, if I read them, it'd be on audiobook, but there's other audiobooks I want to listen to. I don't need to read this. And I've heard like mixed things about the series, and just Lauren Oliver in general seems to be like very hit or miss for people. So I don't want to risk it. I can just leave it at this. Like, it's fine. It's another dystopian. I don't care. Then we had the Why the Last Man graphic novel series by Brian K. Vaughan, and I was liking this series as it went on, but I wasn't liking it as much as I was expecting to. A lot of people love this series. I was recommended it a lot after Saga came out. Like, everyone was talking about this one after Saga came out. So I tried picking it up. I liked it enough, but and it's been a while since I've read them now, so I'd have to reread them, and I just didn't really care a ton. I wanted to care more, and I didn't. I prefer Saga as far as his series. I also want to read The Runaways, which is they're kids of supervillains, I think, or superheroes, and I want to read that for that's amazing, but I don't think I'll continue with this one by him. Like, it was okay. I feel like it's really super hyped, and I just didn't really feel the hype. Then we have one that I'm really super torn about, and that's the Captive Prince series by C.S. Pacat. Do you see how tired I am even like talking about this? So I read this first book, and I'm completely neutral on this series. Like, I don't love it, I don't hate it, I see why people feel both ways about it, whatever. I'm so tired that I just don't want to fucking hear about it. Like, I know that no matter what I feel about it, ultimately in the end, I'm going to be wrong to so many people, and people are going to be coming at me all the damn time, that it's just like, I don't care. Like, I'm able to point out all the problems in the series. It's not that. But this is one of those series that's like so in the middle, and there's not like a definitive answer. There's plenty of people that are very excellent reviewers who love the series, and plenty that don't. And there's plenty of people that haven't. Here's the fucking problem. There's plenty of people that haven't read the series, and they have an opinion on it. And it's like, you haven't read it, and a lot of people like say that this is a series that the people that have read it have said that this is a series that you really have to read the entire thing to really be able to like judge it. And a lot of people have opinions about it that haven't read it, have just heard snippets and taken things out of context. And I'm just like, I don't want to have to defend my opinion on this particular series. I can defend my other opinions all day. On this particular series, when I know no matter what I decide about this series, my opinion about this series, people are going to say I'm wrong. And fight with me about it all the time. Because people fight about this series all the time. And I'm just like, I'm not in the mood. I don't care enough about this series to want to really finish it. Like, I might at some point, maybe. I don't know. I would like to know what my opinion overall would be on this, because it's incredibly controversial, and there's plenty of people on both sides who have valid opinions about it. and about the things about it, and people, you know, there's a lot of really sensitive topics in here that people don't necessarily like to read about, obviously, and that is completely your choice, but I feel like the level that this particular series has gotten, and this is the only series I'm talking about with this, I'm not talking about anything else, just this series. I think this series, people have gotten so just stick their heels in about it and aren't willing to see either other side of it, that they always think the other side is completely wrong, and it's just not a good book discussion to have. I don't care to have those kinds of discussions. Like, no. There's plenty of other things to talk about, plenty of other books to talk about, plenty of other books to call out, and I just don't care to fight with people about it. I don't care. Like, I don't care enough about this series. I'm neutral on it. I'm neutral. So, yeah, at this point, since I'm tired of hearing about it, I don't really plan on picking it up anytime soon. I wish I would, kind of. Just to, you know, maybe I'll go down one day in flames, fighting all y'all, but not today. Then we have An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, another very popular series. I have a lot of these on my list, obviously, and I don't know. I've just lost interest in this series. I wasn't super invested in it to begin with. I, like, wasn't really into all the hype and stuff. I have the second book. I'm just not super motivated to pick it up. There's other things I want to read, and this book, like, I think it's still 3 or 4 stars for me, this first book, and I really like one of the characters, Helene. I, like, adore her, but I don't really like the 2 main characters, like, at all. So I don't really care a ton. I like the world and stuff, but the 2 main characters and where I think it's going with them, I'm just not really into. So we'll see. Maybe. I like that it's a desert fantasy. That's really cool, but I'm not super motivated to pick it up. I have a lot of things I want to read, and I don't really care to read this. Then we have the Senator's Daughter trilogy by Belinda Salisbury. This book I can just consider a standalone. I've seen the synopsis for the next 2 books in the series. Yeah. I've already forgotten a ton about this book, and I read it, I think, in December. Maybe November, but I think December. And I just don't even remember stuff about it. So I really don't care to read the rest of it. And it's not anything super interesting or innovative or new at all. And I feel like it's pretty predictable, so I don't care to just, like, know what I'm going to read before I read it, you know? So I think that's it for most of the series that I probably will not finish. I did mention some other ones that I've talked about before, like I've never finished Divergent, don't plan to. I don't plan on finishing the Match series, like some of those other ones, so I'll link that video on the screen. But these are all the ones that I don't plan on finishing for now. Like I said, if I mention any of your favorite series, it's nothing against you. It's my opinion. It's things I don't feel like reading right now. And for the most part, with a few exceptions, they're just books that I lost interest in. So it's not even that I say that they're necessarily like horrible books. I just lost interest in them. And I have so many books I want to read that I'm very interested in, that I very much want to get to. So I'm definitely going to be reading those first. And probably never get to these, because then new books will come out that I'm also interested in. And new series will come out that I'm not interested in, and that I'll lose interest in, and we'll have a new video like this, like, next year or something. So, yeah, don't be mad, bro. So comment down below, let me know some series that you don't plan on finishing. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!